everyone. Welcome in. I am Kevin Lee. With me today is Aaron LaJeunesse and Ryan Pringle. How are you both doing today?
Doing great, Kevin.
Pretty good, Kevin. How about you, man?
I am doing good. Hopefully doing a little bit better after the end of this week's set of games. Hopefully we can catch up to you there, Ryan.
Domination.
Look back at last week's games. Ryan obviously went 500, 8-8, and Aaron and I both went 7-9.
Still in it.
It's 1 week, but obviously we'd like to be above 500. A couple of the bad losses that we all took. We all took the 49ers versus the Bears.
Yeah, really happy with that Trey Lance draft.
I took them in an eliminator pool, so yeah,
fantastic pick.
Well, we all took the Bengals versus the Steelers. That didn't turn out too well.
Oh my God! Well, there goes my pick for my MVP.
That's an MVP over there.
Yeah, good job. We all took the Colts over the Texans, which those teams ended up tying, so we took that as a loss. We all took the Titans over the Giants. Not too happy about that one.
That's a rough one, dude.
What a week one.
Yeah, and then we all took the Broncos over the Seahawks. So let's.
I don't even care that I would gladly eat that just to watch Russell Wilson lose. It was very
with you. I would too.
Yeah. But I think the new strategy here is if I see you two pick the same team, I'm just going to pick the other team so we don't all run the same team and maybe sneak out a couple of easy wins. But that's where we stand after week one. Let's get into week two.
All right.
First game, the Thursday night game. The Los Angeles Chargers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams are 1-0. Aaron, who are you going with?
I am going to take the Chargers. Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. I feel like Patrick Mahomes has regressed, and I feel like he's going to continue that downward trend for the rest of his career so that I never have to see him again.
5 touchdowns last week. 5 touchdowns. I don't know if that's much of a regression.
Wow.
I'm kidding. Patrick Mahomes is a fantastic quarterback, but I do believe in Justin Herbert. And I feel like, I don't know, I like his weapons better. I like Mike Williams, I really like Austin Eckler, but,
Keenan Allen's going to be out this game.
He is going to be out.
Yes, he is.
But, Mike Williams can pick up the slack. Fantastic wide receiver.
Ryan, who are you going with?
Skip. I didn't know we had Skip Bayless on the show over here. All those hot garbage takes. But no, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes really showed off last week that he's the MVP quarterback. He's that guy. It's just the way he was spreading the ball. I think it's going to be real tough. Like, who are you going to cover? You got to take your pick. I mean, there's so many weapons, and nobody's really absolutely stood out just yet. So you don't know who you need to cover all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the Chiefs.
I think if Keenan Allen was in this game, it might have been a little easier for me to take the Chargers.
Yeah,
but I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs.
That could have made a difference. But
I think both. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think both of these teams are going to put up a lot of points all year long. But the Chiefs at home, Mahomes throwing 5 touchdowns last week, I think is every reason why the Chiefs are going to take this one. So I am going to go Chiefs as well.
Fair enough.
All right.
On to the next game, the New England Patriots versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I will let you start it off this time, Ryan.
This is a toss-up game for me, honestly. Like, are you going to get the same Pittsburgh defense that you saw last week? You just don't know with TJ Watt being out. I think that's going to be a big factor.
Joe Burrow is not on the Patriots, so we might not get 5, turnovers from.
Okay, yeah, just keep rubbing it in there, buddy.
Brutal.
See, where's this game? It's in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
it is.
God, you know what? There's no way I can go Pittsburgh. I don't have it in me. I just can't. So we're going Patriots.
Okay,
Aaron, who do you have?
Obviously, I think that Mac Jones is a better quarterback than Mitchell Trubisky. Najee Harris is a pretty solid running back, though. So I feel like they have a better backfield than New England, but I it's still a toss up. You know,
remember Najee re-aggravated his Liz Frank last week. So
is he going to continue? Did he practice today? Does anybody know?
He did practice.
He did practice. Okay, I'm confident he'll be on the field. So it's wide receivers. I can't even name any wide receivers for either team at this point. I don't think. But Claypool was on Pittsburgh. I can't think who.
Deontay Johnson,
Chase Claypool, and then
George Pickens.
Who's the main wide receiver for New England? I don't even know who.
Jacoby Myers. You've got Devontae Parker.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
Harry's still there. I don't know.
I'm gonna take New England on the road.
Maybe not. Never mind.
New England as well.
Yeah, I'm going New England on the road.
Okay. Well, to stay true to what I said earlier, if I see you two go with the same pick, I refuse to cut. No.
Oh, you're going Pittsburgh? Oh, man.
I am going to go the Steelers. Like I said, I'm pretty sure in the last episode, Mike Tomlin is one hell of a coach.
Black Forces.
I think we've given Bill Belichick enough. We know what he is, but I think Mike Tomlin, they're at home. I don't think Mitch Trubisky looked, as bad. He was fine. He did the job.
They couldn't move the ball, though. There was no offense for them in that game.
Right? I just think that's good enough at home against a Patriots team where their offense didn't look they didn't look good at either. And it's something that in the preseason they talked about. They just they lost Josh McDaniels this year. They're just not the same team on offense. So I am going to go the Steelers at home. I think that they'll have enough to take that one. On to the next one. The 0-1 Carolina Panthers versus the 1-0 New York Giants. I will kind of start this one. I think it's going to be the Giants. I think Saquon's back. They're at home. I don't think, as much as I thought Baker, there was no chance he was going to lose the game against the Browns last week. He just didn't. I was not impressed with him at all. And I think that team forgot that they have Christian McCaffrey on their team. Probably get him the ball a little more. And until they do, I think they're going to keep losing. So I am going to go with the Giants here. I'll let that one move on to you, Aaron.
Daniel Jones.
Yep.
He's definitely a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield is ever going to be, or probably ever was at this point. I think we've seen Baker Mayfield for who he is over the years that he had with the Browns and going into Carolina, not looking spectacular last week, even though he had, enough chances to prove himself. Christian McCaffrey, I mean, that guy could pop off for 4 touchdowns and 300 yards and you wouldn't even see it coming. So obviously there's going to be a chance of that happening any week that he plays. But Saquon Barkley, super solid last week, great performance. I'm going to take the Giants.
Okay, Ryan?
Okay. Yeah, I'm high on Daniel Jones this year. I think I said that last week too.
Did you just say you were high on Daniel Jones? Has that ever been said anywhere ever?
I don't think so.
This is the first time here, folks. Someone is high on Daniel Jones.
He's going to turn it around this year. I just, last week he wasn't great last week, but it's week 1. Give him some time to kind of really get a hold of the new offense over there.
How long has he been on the Giants this entire time?
Since he's been in the league, yeah.
Yep, so since like 3 or 4 years, somewhere in there?
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, like I'm saying with you guys, I thought Baker was going to like really put out the best game he possibly could last week, and it just wasn't there. I mean, he tried towards the end, but it just wasn't enough. With the way Saquon played, he ran the ball. He was strong and looked like he was really 100% back to normal. And they're at home. So, yeah, I'll take the Giants as well.
Giants as well. Okay. So, congratulations to Carolina. We all took the Giants, so you're probably going to come out a winner here. Okay, next game. We've got the New York Jets versus the Cleveland Browns. The Jets are 0-1. The Browns are 1-0. Pringle, I will let you start this one.
I think I'm going to go with Cleveland right off the bat in this one. They really got a lot out of Kareem Hunt last week. They still have Nick Chubb.
And they need more out of Nick Chubb this week. A lot more. A lot.
I think they're going to need a little more out of their passing game than what they got last week. I mean, it just wasn't there for them.
Is that? I mean, can you expect that from Jacoby Brissett?
I mean, I think you can get a little more than what you got. Like, it's just Amari
a little more than nothing is still not that much.
Yeah, and it's not going to take much to beat the Jets either. Let's be honest. So
fair enough.
I just don't see it from the Jets at all. So yeah, I'm going to just go Cleveland.
I will tag right along with you. The Browns at home, their run game is going to be enough to just, run the clock. I don't think the Jets are going to be able to stop Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. It's going to be a nice, slow-paced, easy game for the Browns. Joe Flacco's not what he was. Breece Hall, Michael Carter are both young, even though Michael Carter had a fairly good game. Their wide receivers are talented, but they're just two different caliber teams. So I am going to go the Browns as well. And who do you have, Aaron?
Well, as much as I'd like to back old noodle arm Flacco out there, who they just trot out in a wheelbarrow and dump onto the field. Jacoby Brissett definitely has more upside than Flacco has in the last 8 years that he's been in the league. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, you're going to have that 1-2 punch, and then Browns, you had somebody to actually throw to with Amari Cooper instead of, Elijah Moore with the Jets. So, it's you go Browns all the way. Also, Nick Chubb's going to score 4 touchdowns.
I do think that I like the young talented wide receivers the Jets have. Elijah Moore, Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
I think Breece Hall can be something, but I think they're too young. Their roster is not the same. And you hope if Zach Wilson comes back, Zach Wilson comes back, he can develop into a guy that can lead this team, but they're just not there yet. So we are all taking the Browns. Sure. On to the next one. We have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Colts last week had that lovely tie, and Jacksonville lost to the Commanders. So who are you taking here, Aaron?
Please, Matt. Please.
There's a plea going out.
So it's just you were so talented and you were so wasted. This is your last chance. Do something. And it's against Jacksonville. Do something. I'm going to take Indianapolis. I really, really like their run game a lot better. Jonathan Taylor, obviously a fantastic running back, one of the best in the league. Michael Pittman at wide receiver. So he has the weapons there. He has ball catchers. It's just, please, Matt. So I'm going to take Indy.
Okay. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm with Aaron. And I said it last week. I just don't think Trevor Lawrence is the guy at all. And he showed.
Keep making Gatorade commercials.
Oh my God! Like some of those throws he was missing. I mean, those are gimme touchdowns, and he just couldn't put it on his guy. I can't pick Jacksonville until he shows me that he can turn it around and really be a productive quarterback.
I'm not ready to fully give up on Trevor Lawrence, but it's starting to stack up against him. I know last year I tried to write off. Yeah, he's still young, but at some point you're gonna have to put up and shut up everyone who's been talking against you. But he just doesn't seem to quite have it, at least yet. So I'm going to go the Colts. I think if the Colts don't win this game, that's 2 divisional games that they didn't bring a win home. If they want to win the division, they got to win these games. So I definitely think the Colts need to come out with a victory in this one. So I'm going to go the Colts as well.
Sure. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but I've seen 2 very sorry attempts at trying to motivate your team in like a pre-game.
I saw the headline
speech or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
One of them being Andy Dalton several years ago. And as a Bengals fan, I was so hurt watching that video of seeing him try to motivate this team. And then you had
Jameis Winston W hands,
and it was horrible. Like, there's no way that guy's rallying anybody to go to war for him, and it's not going to happen.
Yeah,
not everybody's going to be Drew Brees,
Yeah, maybe.
Did you see
Trevor
the video?
Lawrence is
like it's bad.
I didn't see the Trevor Lawrence video, but I saw the headline, and I was not surprised. So. Yeah, unfortunate for him. So, the next game we have the Miami Dolphins, the 1-0 Miami Dolphins versus the 1-0 Baltimore Ravens. This one is really hard for me. I think this is going to be a fun game. I know I came out and I'm still very high on Lamar Jackson. I'm hoping J.K. Dobbins is back. Not that he's going to come out and be fully healthy, lead that, take all the snaps running back, but to hopefully start to get him back. I don't like to do it, but I'm going to go the Ravens. I do like Miami's offense, but I'm gonna stay on that Lamar Jackson bandwagon until the wheels fall off. So Ravens for me. Who do you have there, Pringle?
Oh, I think this is going to be a good game.
We've
got 2 pretty solid defenses, 2 quarterbacks that can't throw the ball. Oh God. I'm not a fan of either of these quarterbacks, but I think I'm going to go with the Ravens just for a little bit more experience.
Let me try and remove the Bengals bias. If Lamar Jackson is on a different team and not in your division, do you still say that same
still don't
statement?
like him. No, I still don't care for him at all.
That's fine.
He's not accurate. He's not very accurate. I don't think anybody would consider him the MVP style quarterback if he couldn't run. And his accuracy is just not there.
But he can.
So.
But
he can, and that's a huge factor in today's game, but I still don't like him as a traditional quarterback.
That's fine.
But yeah, I think unfortunately I'm going to take Baltimore.
Aaron, who do you have?
So I like Miami. I like the colors. I like Raheem Mostert. I like Tua Tagovailoa. I don't like Tua. I'll be honest. Lamar Jackson, he's not a fantastic ball thrower, but when you have a fantastic ball catcher like Mark Andrews in his tight end, I really like that combo going forward and marching down the field.
He's got to get him involved.
Yeah, he really does, and I think he will this week coming up. So, and going forward, I think they're going to start utilizing him a lot better. Tyreek Hill, I don't all that speed, you got to be able to get the ball to that guy downfield, and I don't think that Tua has that in him. So I'm going to go.
He had a good game last week.
I'm going to go with Baltimore
and
Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Well, like I said, congratulations, Miami. You will be victorious in this game since we all took the Ravens. The next game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New Orleans Saints. Both teams are 1-0. I will let you start it off, Ryan. Who do you have?
I'm probably leaning more towards the Bucs here. They have some more experience, the proven experience. The Saints didn't play bad last week, but unless they can get Kamara really going, I just don't think they have a chance. Like, they got to use their weapons to what they have. They showed that they're going to use Taysom Hill a little bit, and I think that could help in the long run, just to get him out there and hopefully help with some confusion. But you got Tom Brady on the other side of the ball still. Like, until he proves that he can't play anymore, like I have a hard time betting against him. So I'm going to go Bucs.
Aaron?
Jameis Winston's on pace for 34 touchdowns, no interceptions. So I think that's going to happen. No, I'm just kidding. I can't get it against Tom Brady, man. Leonard Fournette's still a serviceable running back.
Yeah.
He's still okay. I like Alvin Kamara, but and then Tom Brady has weapons like Mike Evans and Julio Jones. It's just I think it's going to be too much for New Orleans to handle. I do like that Jameis, or I don't like Jameis. He's a quarterback in the NFL. He's okay. He's weird. And I was speaking of rallying the troops, watching him try to eat his hand still haunts my dreams. So I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay though. Don't bet against Tom Brady.
Oh, here I am. I'm gonna bet against Tom Brady.
You're not smart.
That offensive line looked awful.
It did.
It did look pretty bad.
Yeah.
Pass catchers. Russell Gage, hurt, not practicing. Julio Jones, hurt, not practicing. Mike Evans, hurt, not practicing. Leonard Fournette, I believe, didn't practice earlier in the week, or at least has been limited. It's not right in Tampa Bay. I think while their defense can probably keep them in plenty of games, it's just Tom Brady with no one isn't very good, even if it is Tom Brady. I like the Saints. I think the Saints pass catchers are great. I like Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Jarvis Landry, and Alvin Kamara. I think that guy, while he didn't have a great game, he's a stud. He will get the ball. He will get the job done. I'm not worried about him. So I am going to go with the Saints. I'm going to go against Tom Brady. On to the next game. We've got the Washington Commanders versus the Detroit Lions. Commanders 1-0, Lions 0-1. Aaron, who do you have?
Carson Wentz decided to learn how to play football again last week, so that was interesting. How did Jared Goff do last week? He's got a couple touchdowns, an interception, or something. Not too bad.
Down heavy early against the Eagles and kind of clawed their way back.
I think they almost pulled it off too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 38-35.
I didn't get a chance to watch that game. Yeah. God, and then running back. I know Washington's got Gibson. I can't even name a running back.
Antonio Gibson.
Yeah. Running back in Detroit.
DeAndre Swift.
DeAndre Swift. Never. Yeah. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I'm probably still going to go Washington though. Yeah, we're going Washington. We'll go with Carson Wentz. He can make some magic happen again.
Pringle, who do you have?
I'm going to go with Detroit. I think they're going to get their first win of the season. DeAndre Swift played really well. Jamal Williams played really well. I don't think you're going to strike magic in a bottle twice with Carson Wentz and Antonio Gibson both having the game like they had last week. I mean, until they can prove it that they can show some consistency. I do like the weapons they have, though, at receiver, like Scary Terry. Jahan Dotson is really showing that he might be an up-and-coming receiver.
Curtis Samuel had a good game.
Curtis Samuel had a really good game. So I do like the weapons. I just don't have the faith that Carson Wentz can string these games together yet. I mean, I could be wrong. He could prove us all wrong. But
that's the real
I like
key.
what Detroit's doing down there. So I'm going to go with Detroit.
This one's hard for me. I want to believe that Washington can have an offense and Carson Wentz can lead, this receiving core to win some games. But it's hard for me to say that Washington is going to have any success this year. So I do like Detroit. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be a top 15, top 20 receiver this year. I think he's going to have a great year. DeAndre Swift, as long as he can stay healthy, I think he got a little banged up last week, which kind of, you know what? Because DeAndre Swift is a little banged up, I'm gonna go the Commanders. It's hard for me to do.
That was hard for you. You struggled to spit that out.
I think if DeAndre Swift is perfectly healthy and we don't have any health concern, not that Jamal Williams isn't a good running back. I think that will be the difference. I'm going to go the Commanders. So that's I don't like it, but I think they're going to be able to do it. So on to the next game. We've got the Seattle Seahawks versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Oh, my God.
I do not like the Seahawks. I am not a fan.
That's what happens when you live in the Northwest and you're not a Seahawk fan. You just resent them and their fans all at the same time. Them and all their bank teller fans.
Yeah.
Moms.
Until I'm trying to wash last game for the Niners off. The weather conditions were awful. The field was awful. But I'm going to pull the reins back on the Trey Lance hype until the young quarterback can get his feet wet, kind of get in there and at least show me something. I'm going to go with Geno Smith over Trey Lance, which boy, before the season, I never thought I would say. But I'm going to take the Seahawks in this game. Who do you have there, Aaron?
I don't want to. I'm not going to bet against San Francisco. I really don't like Seattle, and I want them to lose to us twice a year, badly. And
as do I.
And it's. I really hope that they utilize use check a little more, maybe go with the fullback in this game and really ram it down Seattle's throat. But Trey Lance North Dakota State, for God's sakes. He didn't play for 3 years. It's like 2019 was the last season. I just can't. I hate him so much. But I'm still going to go. Still going to go with San Francisco. I think with what's his name being out, still going to use Deebo Samuel a lot more. So
Elijah Mitchell being out.
Yeah.
You're hoping Jeff Wilson can step in
and then Deebo Samuel pick up the slack at running back. Well, not at running back, but at option, whatever you want to call him.
As back there. Playmaker.
Yeah. And then Brandon Ayuk needs to really step up and pull down some balls just to get the pressure off of Deebo. So I'm still going to go with San Francisco in this game, especially playing at home, Levi Stadium, everything else. So.
Yeah. Ryan, who do you have?
I think you got the best game you will ever see out of Geno Smith last week. I would bet everything I own that he does not play like that again. And I think the Niners D will get to him early, and I think that's something Denver failed to do, was to really get him flustered early. We didn't really hear anything from any of their pass rushers early on in the game. I think you'll get that a lot more this week from San Francisco. And like you said, like, it was just a fluke game with that weather. That was just a rough environment to try and play in. So I'm going to go with the Niners.
Okay. I would like to go the 49ers. I am just going to go bet against them until Trey Lance can show me that he can at least manage the game.
He can.
So
that's fair.
that's where my head's at. Moving on to the next game here, we've got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams 0-1. Atlanta almost pulled one out last week, but both teams are 0-1. I think this is the Rams finally, get going this year. They are going to come out and make sure that everybody knows that, hey, we're the Super Bowl champions. We're just as good as advertised. The Bills just had our number last week, so I'm going to go with the Rams. I think Matt Stafford kind of picks up where he should have been coming into the year and has a little better game. Cooper Kupp, I think they get Allen Robinson going a little bit more. So I'm going to go the Rams. Let's move on to Ryan. Who do you have in this one?
I agree. I think the Rams are really going to get moving here. Atlanta's D doesn't really have anything close to what Buffalo had last week to try and stop them. My only problem with the Rams is Stafford looked like he had a little bit of that Calvin Johnson syndrome going on.
Yeah, he's been known to do that.
Detroit, he sees his guy, he locks in, and that's it. He didn't even look Allen Robinson's way on any of the plays. He was just forcing the ball. You could see he was holding it a little longer, waiting for Cooper Kupp to get open.
Well, in all fairness, he looked his way twice.
Yeah. That was the last play of the game. He just threw it up. And
how many catches did Robinson have?
That.
Just one?
Yeah, just one.
One
catch off of 2 targets.
Brutal. Brutal.
But I agree. I think they'll get Robinson more involved. At least they need to get him more involved. He's a big-time playmaker. And I think they're going to do that this week, and I'm going to go with the Rams.
Aaron?
I'm not picking Marcus Mariota over Matt Stafford this week. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen.
Mariota looked good.
Well.
He showed that he's still got legs. He can get up and run. Yeah. I think if this was a little different team, not the Rams.
I didn't say
defense,
that I didn't say that I wouldn't pick Marcus Mariota. Like if it was Atlanta playing the Jets, but playing the Rams, like Marcus Mariota. If I put Matt Stafford on the Jets, I think he'd beat Marcus Mariota no matter if he was on the Rams. So I don't. It's I don't know. Akers needs to get involved, whatever that was about. And then
he's coming back from an Achilles. I think it's going to be Darrell Henderson. I think they gotta. I don't think Achilles injuries are not easy to come back from, especially for running backs. So
that's fair too.
Maybe it's Darrell Henderson, but
I can't name an Atlanta wide receiver.
Drake London.
Sorry, Pitts is a tight end, though, right?
Pitts out there.
He
didn't really get involved.
But still, he's a pass catcher. So it's
Pitts is like he's a tight end, but he plays a lot like out wide in the slot. Like he
like a Jimmy
lines
Graham
up
2.0.
as a wide receiver more often than he lines up as a tight end. Next to the line.
Doesn't matter. The Rams are winning this game.
Okay. All going Rams on this one. Let's move on to the next one. The Arizona Cardinals versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Both teams are 0-1. I will let you go ahead and start this one off, Ryan.
So I checked before we got on here. It is not a double XP weekend.
Okay, good.
So that is a positive.
It's important.
That's some good information.
But I think there's one next weekend. So we'll see. But the Cardinals.
So you're giving the Cardinals a chance?
I'm giving them a chance, but they did not look great.
A couple of garbage touchdowns towards the end there made that game look a little different.
Yeah, and I mean, the Raiders had a tough game last week against the Chargers. I like the Raiders team more top to bottom. I like their weapons a lot more, and they showed Devontae Adams is their guy like 100%. So
yeah,
they're going to continue to feed him, and he's going to continue to dominate. And it's at home. And go with the Raiders.
Okay, Aaron, who do you have?
I got to eat shit after what I said last week. I thought Derek Carr was going to come out swinging, and he didn't. He did not look good.
At least you admitted it.
And I really thought that they had a chance, especially with the weapons that they had gotten in the offseason. And you know, I still want to pick Vegas at home over Arizona. Kyler Murray is all over the place. Like I don't know who you're going to get. So like, and everybody wants to pretend like it has all to do with video games and Call of Duty. But, you know, I'm hopefully he acts like a professional this year. I mean, this is what you're going to be doing with your life.
I've seen a lot of things come out where he's just not able to read the defense, and I think that's what the whole study clause was.
He has to get out of the pocket to be able to see his receivers.
Yeah.
So like, and it's and I'm gonna go with the Raiders. I go to the Raiders at home.
I don't think the Cardinals defense has got it this year. I think you're going to have big games from Kyler. I think later on in the year they get DeAndre Hopkins back to pair with Marquise Hollywood Brown.
And
you know,
he's got Zach
James
Ertz
Conner
too.
can, you know, Zach Ertz it's just a shell of himself in my opinion. He's not.
That's fair.
Yeah, he's not the same tight end.
Not the same guy.
Obviously not as good as Darren Waller or anything, but
yeah, I just think the Cardinals are going to have big, you know, like, oh, hey, that was a great game by the Cardinals, but I don't think they've got it consistently. I think the Raiders showed that Devontae Adams is going to really help this team. Yeah, they went against the Chargers last week. I think teams are going to have a hard time beating the Chargers, even though I went against them this week. But yeah, I think the Raiders are just the better team. I think a lot of people kind of, go against Derek Carr. But the guy's, he's a good quarterback in the league. So I am going to go the Raiders at home as well to get their first win. We will move on to the next game here. We have the Houston Texans versus the Denver Broncos. The Texans were the other team that, that got the tie with the Colts, and then Denver losing on Monday night. I will let you start it off, Aaron.
Russell looked really bad. I don't want to place the blame entirely on him. He had that dime that he dropped in the end zone where the tight end didn't get his foot down, and then I think he had a goal line fumble, where I think was it Judy that fumbled it, or was it his running back? But I
can't remember.
I can't get it.
It was Javonte, I think.
Was it Javonte?
I think it was Javonte. Yeah.
So they should have won that game. They should have been up 2 more touchdowns at that point. And so
didn't Melvin Gordon also have a goal line fumble?
Oh, did they?
Didn't they have 2
Penny
goal
did.
line?
No, it was Rashad Penny that had the other one.
Oh, okay.
So it's oh yeah, that's true too, actually. But I still think Denver gets it done. Houston's just not good.
Yeah.
It's a bad team just all the way around. They don't have anyone. It's a nightmare down there in Houston. I'd be surprised if they won a game this season.
I agree. I think Denver's the better team. I think, like we saw with Baker, you go out there and you try a little too hard to win against your former team.
Yeah.
I think we saw a lot of that. I think Russ really
some of
wanted
those passes. He was just airing them out, just open.
Yeah, I think he was a little too hyped for that game, and for good reason. You want to, he felt slighted by Seattle and obviously wanted out. So, I think that was just an unfortunate game for him. I do think, though, he's, as much as you may think he's kind of an awkward person, I think he's a good quarterback. I like Denver's weapons a whole lot better than I like the weapons on the Texans. I think there was a lot of hype for Dameon Pierce, rookie running back for the Texans. And then you saw Rex Burkhead take the majority of the snaps. So it's weird in Houston. I don't think they're there, so I am going to go with Denver. And then who do you have, Aaron? Or Ryan, sorry.
There's just Houston doesn't have anywhere near the talent to be able to compete. Like, they got some good pieces, but at the end of the day, you got Davis Mills over there at quarterback, and he's just not going to get the job done. I mean, he's a good stopgap quarterback, but it's Denver's weapons are they're too much. It's also in Denver, so they get their home game, and like you said, I completely agree that Russ definitely was trying too hard. He was trying to force a lot of balls, and it just didn't work out. And they were still right there at the end of the game, but they're definitely. I think they're going to for sure take this one.
Okay, let's move on to the next game. We have the 0-1 Cincinnati Bengals versus the 0-1 Dallas Cowboys.
You said to point that out. I like the emphasis on that 0-1. Appreciate that, buddy.
Did you catch that?
Yeah. Don't say that for anybody else.
Well, we're not to my team yet. Don't worry. I'll do the same thing for my team. I will let you start it off, Ryan.
So this is a 100% guaranteed victory for Cincinnati. 100%. Joe Burrow is going to come 100%
lock of the week.
Dominate this game. He's going to come out angry. He's going to come out slinging. I mean, we're down T. Higgins. That's okay, but Dallas does not
progressing progressing in the concussion protocol. Not that
but you know what? I mean, we have
makes it all the way
plenty
back.
Of talented guys, so he can go ahead and sit out, just precautionary.
No faith
Dallas,
in Cooper Rush.
Offensive line. No, I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen any sort of addition at the quarterback position.
Cam Newton's out there.
So is Jimmy Garoppolo.
You got Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, you got to trade. You got to give up
something.
Not much. I'll give them to you for a pack of cigarettes.
I think that's probably why you're not running the team.
Yeah, right. They don't have any receivers to complement CeeDee Lamb, so all you got to do is take him away, and there goes the passing game.
Yeah, and Ezekiel Elliott will take himself away. So
Ezekiel Elliott
Zeke played well.
He was very efficient. They just didn't give him the workload.
Yeah, they were down the whole game, Tampa, so they just stopped running the ball.
Yeah.
So, but Zeke, he played really. I think he had a 5-yard per carry average or something like that.
Yeah.
But Cincinnati's going to bounce back. There's no way we lose this game. Guaranteed, 100%.
Do you have anything to say on that, Aaron?
Joe Burrow's a better quarterback than Cooper Rush. Joe Mixon's a better running back than Ezekiel Elliott. Jamar Chase is a better wide receiver than CeeDee Lamb. I really don't think that Dallas has anything on Cincinnati at this point. I mean, even if Dak was there, I don't think it'd matter. So,
you know who I'll give the Dallas Cowboys over the Cincinnati Bengals? I'll give him Micah Parsons. I think that guy is amazing.
Micah Parsons is a dog.
Huge difference maker, man.
Don't get him.
That's a scary dude.
he's not enough. He's not enough. He's not going to be able to play offense as well and help that offense. So,
and like Shooter didn't have his center, and that had a lot to do with it too. Because if my guy had his long snapper, I'm sorry, if he had a snapper, we've been different conversation this week. So McPherson's going to bounce back. He's going to kick 4 60-yarders just for fun after the Bengals put up 42 points to 0. So it's go Bengals.
The Cowboys going to be the only team that doesn't score a touchdown this week as well.
Yeah,
probably wouldn't surprise me.
I could see that.
I don't have any reason to go with the Cowboys.
They don't win anywhere on the field.
Yeah, it's a hard time for Dallas right now. I think they've just got too many injuries stacked up against them. Dak, Michael Gallup. There seems to be their whole offensive line, which it's not. But yeah, they're just not the team this year. So they're going to have a rough time in this game. So all of us are going Cincinnati
for sure.
Next game here. The 1-0 Chicago Bears versus the 0-1 Green Bay Packers. I will start this one off. I think this is a game that Aaron Rodgers gets it going. I think there was a lot made of him not being happy with his receivers, and for good reason. I think Christian Watson, one of the rookies, dropped what would have been like a 75-yard touchdown. You're going to have that with young guys. I mean, they're figuring out the speed. They're figuring out the NFL game. So another weekend, hopefully they have Alan Lazard back, which I think will help with that a lot. I think that, the Bears had, they had a lucky win with playing in a pool and not a field. So give me the Packers in this game. I will pass it off to you, Ryan.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is for sure going to bounce back. Like you said, bringing back Lazard. And I'm kind of honestly surprised you didn't see more Aaron Jones playing in the slot, maybe, and A.J. Dillon in the backfield. I think that's a concept that could really run and get to work for him. I can't see Chicago doing anything going into Lambeau and having any sort of success on any level against Packers. I don't see it happening. So definitely going Packers here.
Aaron, same thing? Or are you going?
You had Aaron Rodgers going around talking about how he's doing all this holistic garbage and taking DMT with Joe Rogan, and then going on podcasts where they specifically target talking shit about him and being like, "Why would you say that about me?" In just his weird, deadpan, monotone, stupid face. But at any point, do I think that stops him from being one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, especially regular season quarterbacks of our generation? Absolutely not. He had a rough week. I don't know what that was about. He should come out and slaughter this week. Even though he did lose one of the best wide receivers in the game today. Alan Lazard, Sammy Watkins, and Watson are both very, very solid, or all three very solid wide receivers for him to spread the ball around to. And I do
also like Robert Tonyan, their tight end. I think he can be a goal line, down in the red zone threat.
He's got that long, flowy hair like Kittle too, and it just does things to me. So I'm gonna give it to.
So if you look like George Kittle, Aaron's gonna like you.
I like men with long hair. I don't know why. No, but I have my type, right? So
it's okay. We all do. It's fine.
I'm not gonna pick Fields for anything. I wouldn't pick him in backyard football right now. So go Green Bay.
All on the Green Bay bandwagon there. The next game here, the 0-1 Tennessee Titans versus the 1-0 Buffalo
I didn't
Bills.
quite catch that. Can you repeat that?
Yeah. I am not excited that this is our second game.
Yeah.
I say "our" because I'm unfortunately a Tennessee Titans fan. Coming off of that loss that, in my eyes, we should have won. Missing a late field goal, letting them get that 2-point conversion, I think Saquon probably earned it. But yeah, I think that Tennessee is going to go 0-2. It hurts me to say it, but I think Buffalo is just the better team. That all around, give me Buffalo, and I will move on. There will be no more said. Who do you have in this game, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy, but gotta go Buffalo. It's just Josh Allen looks so good last week. They were in midseason form. And that's just super unfortunate that your team has to play them right away. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything positive to say about Tennessee right now. Unfortunately, it's losing to the Giants, but yeah, it's going to be Buffalo. Get it over quick.
I'll pretend I didn't hear that. Aaron, who do you have? Make me feel good about myself.
There was a ton of upsets last week, So and it's I mean, just watch the Titans lose, 49ers lose, Bengals, all three of our teams lose. All three of them were favorites. The way that Aaron Rodgers performed in Green Bay, them losing, it was just a really, really rough week. Buffalo looked like a well-oiled machine. And they came in like they didn't skip a beat. They just continued on from last year and just smashed right away. So it's you can't bet against Allen and Singletary right now, and you just too many weapons, and he's just killing it. He's killing it. So I'm gonna have to go with Buffalo. They're in Super Bowl form on week 1, and they're gonna be doing the same thing going forward.
Thank you for not helping my my depression there.
Alex, he's killing it. He's gonna be the best quarterback in the league.
I fully understand. On to the last game of the week. We have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Both teams are 1-0. Both teams look good. I will let you start this one, Aaron.
As much as I hate to bet against the best quarterback of all time and my Gardner Minshew, the Minnesota Kirk Cousins is really, really good. Delvin Cook, good, solid. Everybody's very, very solid. Jalen Hurts definitely a lot better than I thought he was going to be. I am not on that bandwagon at all. I do not think Jalen Hurts is very good. Definitely did a hell of a lot better than I thought he was going to. He might be able to carry that through. I'm still just going to go with Minnesota, though.
Okay. Ryan, who do you have?
Man, this is going to be a good game. You got two top receivers going at it.
Jefferson's
AJ Brown and Justin Jefferson. Oh man, Miles Sanders came out last week and he had himself a game. I don't know. This is tough. Probably. I'm just going to go Philadelphia. I don't really have a rhyme or reason besides that they're the home team. I think it's going to be a hell of a game, though.
Okay. I want to go with Philadelphia. I do think their offense it can be very lethal. I think it's very hard to stop a quarterback like Jalen Hurts. I think he showed that, he can get the ball to A.J. Brown, and A.J. Brown can really help this team. But they let the Lions back into it. And I'm not that high on the Lions.
Yeah.
I think if they come out and they jump on the Lions and hold them and don't let them come back into that game, I'm probably feeling maybe a little different. But but the way the Vikings just made the Packers look like, they were going to go winless this year, and just how many times you look and Justin Jefferson is wide open. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. I think they're going to be able to come in and take this road victory. So I'm going to go with the Vikings. With that being said, we still don't have a punishment for the loser at the end of the year. So definitely feel free to comment down below if you have any suggestions. Again, nothing too crazy, but we do want to, kind of keep this fun. So go ahead and leave a comment down below, or leave a comment if you feel like we missed something with one of these teams and we're all wrong. So, and like and subscribe if you like this kind of content, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Later, bud.